This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, Bruce.
Jody.
How's it going over there?
I'm kind of climbing the walls this week because it's the most beautiful day that we've had all year. I'm in here inside. Not that I don't love being able to talk to you and do this every week, but good Lord, this is the best day of the week.
It's supposed to be like 70 today.
Yeah, and here we are. And so I don't know about you, but for me, days like this make it that much more difficult to just like continue doing all this stay-at-home stuff that we've been doing for a year.
Yeah.
And it's really gotten me thinking about what I want to do once we can get out again.
Yes, absolutely. I know. I think I'm in Oregon here. I'm going to be eligible starting the 5th of April, which is the day before my birthday. So I'm excited about that. I won't be able to get the shot right then, but I can, make an appointment and hopefully get that process moving. But yeah, it's like sunny and nice out, and yeah, I'm excited to get my shot and be able to start joining civilization again a little bit more.
I think that's the thing, is that staying at home, as often as we all have been, gives you a lot of time to think about all the things that you want to do once we can get back out there.
Yeah,
so
to make a bucket list.
Yeah, right. So this week we're going to talk about some of the things that are on our bucket lists. And, I'm sure that some of them are the same for anyone who's listening. I think we probably all have shared goals when it comes to getting out of the house. So
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you want to start off?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Mine might seem, after I was like thinking about it, I'm like, mine are really basic to start with. Like, I want to hang out at a brewery with you.
Yes.
Like we used to hang out and like especially since my birthday's coming up again, like it's the second birthday in quarantine, so it's like, remembering the fun time I had with having a bunch of people meet up at a brewery and hang out. Like maybe it's not basic, but that is something I am really craving, like getting all my different friends together and just hanging out and having a good time, that's one of the biggest things that I miss, is just that human connection and companionship with my friends.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that at its most basic, it's just being around other people. The thing that we have not been able to do is the thing we want to do. So
yeah. I mean, I don't have much of my quarantine pod. I don't have a friend group that we've kind of been hanging out with. So
right.
I'm ready to just, maybe not in a super crowded place. I think that's just going to be a weird thing mentally now for a while that we're all going to, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to deal with. But anytime I see a lot of people, I'm just like I want to walk far away from them. But there's like a little group of friends that I have still that I want to just sit on a patio, enjoy some beer, and laugh and be crazy, and
just hang out with. I think one of the things is there's still saying we obviously need to be thoughtful and safe, even after getting the vaccine.
Absolutely.
There's still a lot of things to look at, and if you're looking at numbers right now, I mean, they're going back up. So continue wearing your masks, be safe.
Yep.
If you've got the vaccine, that's awesome, but not everyone else does. Still just be careful. So it's all about doing that stuff safely, and being able to be around people again that's definitely high on my list. Something else, and it's before it would have seemed like a small thing, is you mentioned going to breweries and being able to do all that. Definitely high on my list, but just being able to go to a restaurant. I have not been to a restaurant since March of last year. So not even to sit outdoors or anything. I haven't done any of that. So I'm definitely missing that, at this point, I'm ready to go to McDonald's and just sit and, eat a Big Mac and be on my way, That is some of that kind of stuff. Like it's one thing that has been cool about, you know, not being in restaurants is obviously making more food at home and being more resourceful that way, but also getting, you know, embracing delivery lifestyle and having everything delivered, getting, you know, you can order food from restaurants, you can go pick it up, you can have delivered, whatever, but it's still not the same as the experience of actually going in and eating at a place.
Well, a lot of restaurants, you know, they put a lot of effort into the environment that you're in, and they create an experience.
Presentation,
like there's a lot of, I definitely agree with that. I miss that. Like there's a ton of great places here in the Portland area, or wherever you are. There's probably your favorite restaurant or some new place that'll pop up that are, you know, that'll be fun. I have done a couple patio, you know, eating outside places. It's been a little chilly. I did one a couple of weeks ago, and I almost regretted it because once the sun like went behind the building, it was very cold.
Right. But you know, desperate times call for
I was like
sitting outside and freezing.
I'll just have another beer and I'll be okay.
Right. Yeah. I think that's going to be really big on my list. And, you know, another obvious one that I think everybody is really looking at is being able to travel again, being able to get out and go places. I mean, I was traveling very regularly before the pandemic, and that was going to continue for the foreseeable future. And now, you know, since all of this, I'm not sure when that will start up again, but I desperately want to travel again. And I'm talking like, I'm fine with short, you know, day trips. I'm fine with long road trips. I'm fine with going somewhere far away. I want to do it all. I want to do it all. I'm so ready to just travel. And I think this has really shown me like, that's really important to me. It always has been, but when you can't do it, you're able to sit there and think about it and think about what matters to you. And I love traveling. I love going to other places, experiencing, you know, other communities and meeting people and, you know, cultures that are not like the place that I live all the time. And I want that so badly.
Yeah. I would like to also try and up my travel game. You know, maybe that's going to be a 2022 thing that will happen. But yeah, just visiting fun places, you know, traveling abroad, you know, once this, you know, calms down, I definitely want to get my passport stamps and just experience the world. Like, you know, I think a lot of people need to do that, like experience, like you said, different cultures, different people, widen your bubble or get rid of your bubble somehow, you know, experience other people, other places. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, other countries, just outside of your state, outside of your town.
Totally.
You know? And for me, I think, I love trying like the local places. Like, I remember going to Dallas for a big trip, and the bus driver, I was like, hey, where is a really good place to eat? Because they, you know, you go to these events and they have like, oh, here are the places you should go. And it's like, well, where do the local people go? Because I want like local good food that everyone goes to that lives here, you know, not the touristy traps that are charging you way too much for everything. And we were there for like a long weekend, and we went there every day for like our lunch dinner thing. Yeah, it was great. So that's my tip, is ask where the locals are going when you visit a place.
Always. That's the good stuff.
Like if you're staying in a hotel, ask the front the front desk people or whatever, where do you guys go to eat, you know? Whatever.
That's the fun. You know, I think, oh man, I just like thinking about all of this. I'm ready now. And today is not the day for it. So in lieu of travel, I'm going with a beer from a different place.
Oh yes. What did you get?
So on my most recent beer run, I knew that I wanted beers from lots of different places, and I have been on a real kick. One of the things on my list is that I really want to go back to New Orleans.
Okay.
It has been a long time since I've been to New Orleans, and I really want to go back. I don't think I've been there since I was much younger, 25.
Okay.
I'm an old man now, so
Yeah.
it's been a good 15-ish years. 15. Math fails me, but there are some good beers there. Obviously, some good food, great music, great architecture, great experience. But so I went looking specifically for New Orleans beer, and I came across one that I had never tried, and it is the Holy Roller Hazy Juicy IPA from Urban South Brewery. And it is a New Orleans brewery, a soft and juicy IPA for all of us caught between best intentions and bad behavior, which, I mean, what sums up New Orleans better than that? So, full disclosure, I opened this before we started recording because I couldn't wait. And I will say that this, in the best possible way, it tastes like New Orleans. So yes, that could go. I know that could go terribly wrong.
What is the taste of like seafoody?
So
maybe?
it's like it's this kind of it's kind of like it's got a bit of a kick to it. It's I don't want to say spicy, but it's kind of spicy. It's kind of got this like it's very flavorful. It stands out. Like you can really taste these distinct flavors. It finishes clean, which is nice. I always appreciate that about a beer. It's just like, man, this is one that I would make a regular drinker. I'm super impressed with how good this is. And it's a little juicy. It's easy to drink, which I think is always important. If you're looking for a beer you're going to drink on a regular basis, if you're, hanging out and you want to have two or three, then you want something that's going to go down smooth.
Yeah.
Unless you're a masochist, but
yeah. No, that sounds good.
There. So I definitely recommend it. I want to try other things from Urban South. So there we go.
It says for all of us caught between best intentions and bad behavior.
Exactly. So, like I said, that sums up New Orleans pretty well, I'd say. So,
nice.
There we go.
I didn't have any sort of predetermined beer chosen. I just picked one out of my fridge. Mine's called The Death of Civilization in Slow Motion, Volume 4, or whatever, Episode 4. It's their fourth version of this, obviously, The Death of Civilization. I have to go back in here on a Untapped.
Wow.
It's Adroit Theory out of Virginia. I almost said Washington. It's their fourth release in the series, picks up where the last left off. Outrageously juicy with an emphasis on tropical citrus notes and minimal finishing bitterness. Bright flashes of orange, pineapple, and lime. Greet each sip with just enough bitterness to refresh your palate.
Nice.
And it's amazing. Like, I agree with that. Each sip I also already opened this one.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
And I think you had something from Adroit Theory, I remember.
Yeah. I know that at some point I did, and luckily it was saved for posterity on the Untapped app, where you can see our heavy conversation beer list and follow along. Find the same beers that we're drinking if our descriptions actually make you want to drink one. Saying that a beer tastes like New Orleans may or may not bring you into the beer, but let me just say that this is great, and I will definitely be drinking more of it later in the year. So Adroit Theory, yes.
Yeah, definitely follow along on our Untapped beer list. I update it quite frequently every episode.
Yes.
At least I try to remember to do that.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, this one has the food, cheese, cigar, and music pairings, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Right.
On the back.
I remember. Okay.
The food says it's that goes with this is striped bass with black bean sauce and almonds.
Ooh,
That sounds
nice,
great to me.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cheese is Hook's 10-year cheddar. So I don't know where Hooks is from. Probably from Virginia, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
The cigar is an H. Upman 1844 Reserve.
Wow.
That
So
sounds crazy to me. I don't know
what we're
anything
gonna
about
have to
cigars.
do, what we're gonna have to do is get more of these beers, and then
And
actually
then
get
try to
like,
get some of
yes,
that. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Okay. All right. All
and
right.
do the whole pairing, because we don't really,
I don't know about the
no,
cigar part, but
and also about us eating on the podcast. Well, I don't. That might be a bit much for
yeah,
sensitive ears.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a great double dry hopped Mosaic Eldorado.
Yep.
A couple other ones.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
gonna
Well,
try and find some more of these. It's good.
there we go. So there's our beers for the
Yeah.
week.
In lieu of traveling, get beer from other places.
Yeah, right. It's one of those things. You can expand your horizons in so many ways. So, got to make it work with what we've got, and that's what we're doing. So, yeah. So, as far as, other things, I think other things that I want to do once, we can get out again. I really just want to have more experiences. I want to do more things. I want to try more things. I think that just having more experiences, that stuff is more valuable to
Yeah.
me. And it's something that maybe in the past, when we weren't all stuck, at home and having to stay away from each other, it's easy to take for granted. But now it's like, okay, I want to do more. I want to get out. I want to have different experiences. I don't want to I don't want to waste my time or look back and be like, man, I wish I would have done that.
Yeah.
And all of this time, everything that we've gone through over the last year has really pushed me toward that. And then, I'd mentioned that my mom passed away a couple months ago, and those kind of things, all of that stuff kind of comes together, and it just makes you go,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
you need to
Do it
make the
now.
most. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what is that? There's like a saying, when is the best time to plant a tree? It's like 30 years ago, but the second best time is now.
Right.
So instead of thinking of, oh, I should have done that, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, last year, do it now or soon.
Right. Right.
I want to make more memories, do spontaneous road trips with friends,
Mhm.
for us that, like drive out to the coast and go, I really want to go to the Goonies house. So
Yes.
that's like on one of my lists. Like I could probably do that even now, because I could just drive out there basically by myself. You can't go in,
Right.
because
Right.
someone actually owns it, but you can
Yeah.
go look at it.
Yeah. So the house you're talking about is the house from the movie Goonies. It's here in Oregon. It's on the coast, in a town here on the coast, and you can actually go up and see it, and check it
Yeah.
out and all that. And it's yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
I
thought,
mean,
just fun, just
totally.
experience things, make
Right.
memories.
Yeah.
Whether, it's with family, friends, significant others, whatever.
Mhm.
Do those spontaneous trips. Just say, hey, we're taking a day trip to go do whatever, or we're going to go for the weekend or whatever. I'm looking forward to that. Like,
Yes.
yeah. And like, I guess a big part of that is like reconnecting with my friends again.
Right.
Like I was just, I'm still kind of new to the Portland area. So I was just developing those friendships, and it was really hard to hold on to those during this, because it's like, well, they weren't really super solid before. So
Right.
it was like, oh yeah, we tried for a while, and then it just kind of petered off after the months went by. So like, reaching back out and saying, hey, let's get together, like be kind of that annoying friend for a little while once we can
Right.
hang out and be like, hey, we're going to hang out. Like I'm coming
Oh,
over,
yes.
or like whatever. Like I'm sure everyone's going to be doing it. So,
Mhm.
or everyone's going to be ready to do it. So maybe it won't be that big of a deal, but yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that really, that's my list. I think it's just going to be about getting out there and just doing more. And I think we're going to see that across the board once people can get out again. So yeah. So there we go. If
Yeah.
you are listening to this and you have something that you have a burning desire to do once the pandemic is over and once you get your vaccine, once you're able to get out in the world, let us know at Heavy Convo on all the social networks. We want to know what you're going to do and what we're missing so we can add to our list.
Oh yeah. I've got a little list, but share your post-COVID whatever bucket list with us. Put it in the comments, send it to us in a message. We want to see your bucket list.
Yes. All right. Well, it's time to get outside. We need to get out of our homes and go out and enjoy this weather.
Yes. So, all right. Well, thanks, Bruce.
All right. Thanks, Jody. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.